Welcome to the podcast, where today's fiery episode, Char Pei, Concept Pokémon. Welcome to the Deep End, our captivating discussion series where we dive into the depths of the current Pokemon news, theories, and occasional fakemon. So in a recent video, we were discussing our builds for Fidough, and so a comment was made by our very own Chase about potentially evolving Fidough using the burn mechanic as opposed to just leveling it up since its ability was well-baked bread. This sparked a idea in my head about what happens when you burn bread. And so I present Char Pei, the burnt toast Pokemon. This art was created by the Bing chat bot.
You want like a mash diff now? Oh,
Actually, that's a Char Pei.
yeah.
Oh, what's a bit beefier than Char Pei, but yeah, I dig it.
Char Pei is a Fire Fairy type Pokemon that would evolve from Fidough while it's burned. And being a Fire Fairy type, it would take 2 times damage from poison, ground, rock, or water, because nobody likes soggy bread. It would take half damage from fighting, fire, grass, ice, dark, and fairy, quarter damage from bug, and be immune to dragon type attacks. Me and a friend of mine started getting our heads together, and we came up with an idea that one of the abilities would be called Overdone Toast. And with Overdone Toast, when the Pokemon comes into play, when the Pokemon is tossed into battle, Overdone Toast would drop my opponent's accuracy by 1 stage. The hidden ability would be Brittle Body. When it takes a hit, the defense and special defense are lowered by 1 stage. However, the attack and special attack go up by 1 stage. It's kind of play off of weak armor, which does something similar. Because of course, when you have burnt toast, what's the first thing you do? You start scraping off the burn, trying to get the good toast, right? It would have some attacks like Smokescreen again to capitalize on that accuracy drop, Harden to boost its defenses after it's been taking damage, Willow's Wisp basically burn my opponent to share that pain of being burned. Of course, being a dog would get Crunch, and Fire Fang, because of course it's a fire type, it would be natural to have that one. And finally, Play Rough, because sometimes dogs do play a little rough. And that's kind of where I went with this. This is kind of where my head went when I was first coming up with this concept.
I like the fact that you were talking about its evolution method at first, because it's like it's got to stay burnt, right? Or it's got to stay burned until it levels up again, I'm assuming, and then it'll take that other form. Looking at the art for it as well, it just makes me think, oh man, this thing looks way cooler than Dogspawn. It looks so much more reliable. I'm sorry, Dogspawn. I would probably have this one over you. I'm sorry. What typing did you say was Fire Fairy?
Fire Fairy typing.
Fire Fairy typing. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I'm assuming it'll probably also get access to the other Fang moves as well, right? Like Psychic Fangs would be like totally great. Oh, at least Psychic Fangs, right? It'll at least get Psychic Fangs. That'd be pretty cool.
Maybe. I didn't think it all the way through like that, but I wanted to at least give some ideas as far as moves go for this potential Pokemon.
And then the abilities, it's supposed to be like a smoke screen effect. That's pretty cool too.
Because burnt toast, smoky. It felt like it would naturally fit.
Would you also consider putting Flame Body as another ability as well? That might be kind of cool.
Play Body actually kind of fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, this dog is on fire.
I really like the design that the Bing Bot did. First thing I see in you explaining its ability, the thing that comes to mind is sort of the Pokedex entry. And what I imagine is going from Fidough and being burned inside the Pokeball, it's sort of like baking into this evolution, and then it being overcooked or burnt. That's the reason why it has the ability when it comes out of the Pokeball. It sets off that smoke screen. So I think that's a pretty cool concept. I like the that ability that you mentioned of it being brittle, because it's burnt, so it loses its defensive stats and raises its offensive stats. I think that's pretty unique, so I like that a lot.
Yeah, the idea behind it was because you're scraping off the burnt parts. You now have a lot less bread, because if you anybody who's ever burnt toast before knows, it's brittle. It'll fall apart in your hands almost instantly, but it goes everywhere. Try cleaning it up.
Right. So kind of like its own version of weak arm.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was supposed to be.
Nice.
As far as design-wise, like I tried to get it as close to a Char Pei as possible, but because of the limitations of AI art, like there are some people who can get those things to just run impressive art. Every time I tried to ask, it gave me something goofy. Like it took forever to get something that looked this good, literally days, and even then I still had to touch up the art. It gave me something in the realm of toasty bread, and I had to sit there and keep burning the shadows to make it look like it's more burned than it was toasty.
I can imagine it's pretty difficult when it comes to AI, but
Yeah.
I still think it looks pretty cool.
Yep.
I mean, overall, that's pretty much where I was going. Like, I figured this would get pretty similar stats to Darkspun because it's still an evolution, like maybe change some of the stats. Darkspun having a 477 base stat total where its defense is 115, its special defense is 80, but then its attack stats are 50, and I'm sorry, its attack stat is 80 and special attack is 50, and it's got good speed. And I was figuring maybe flop some of that around where it gets really decent defenses, but because of the built-in ability, they're going to start to crumble real quick. But at the same time, you're also starting to boost that attack stat, but your speed is pretty much still the same. So, maybe swap the special attack for the speed and then just kind of go from there.
I like it.
So the more you hit it, the easier it's going to go down. But of course, at the same time, the harder it's going to bite back.
Yeah.
Right.
Like biting into that burnt toast. It's going to be real unpleasant.
I'm just like trying to imagine it now because like how Darkspun has the well-baked body ability, right? So, like now that I'm thinking about it, it's like because this one evolves through the burn condition, it's like, well, I guess it wasn't well baked.
So, what are your thoughts about this concept Pokemon that I've come up with? I invite you guys to go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you think about this idea. And with that brings our episode to a close. Be sure to share, like, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. And as always, have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.
It's